Hi everyone. So today we are going to start with the topic of profit and loss. This is one of the major topics of your CSAT examination and it is a major part of arithmetic. In your exam you get at least 1 to 2 questions of this topic every year, and this is the minimum number of questions which I am telling you about. Also, it is an application of percentages. So if you just do the basics of the topic, then you can easily do any question related to this subject of profit and loss, right? So let's start with the first concept which you have to understand. First thing is cost price. What is cost price? Selling price. Okay. So to understand the topic, firstly you should know in any transaction, let's say you do any transaction, you purchase an item or you sell an item, right? You say, okay, I gained a profit in this, I had a loss in this transaction, right? But what is profit and loss? How do you say that you had a profit or you had a loss? How do you define it? So for this, to define profit and loss, to understand what profit and loss is, you need to understand your cost price and selling price, right? Let's say you are a shopkeeper, okay, and a customer comes to you asking for a notebook, okay, right? So let's say you sell that notebook for ₹100, okay? You're a shopkeeper, so you will say selling price of this notebook is ₹100. As simple as that, right? But you might have also purchased that notebook from somewhere for some amount of rupees, right? So for you, आपने जहां से वो notebook ली, when you purchased that notebook, so let's say you purchased it for ₹80. ₹80 will be cost price of that notebook. Okay. Now you purchased an item for ₹80. You sold it for 100. 100 is greater than 80. You sold it for more of the amount than what you purchased it for. That is, your selling price was more than cost price. This means in this transaction, you incurred a profit, right? Because you purchased it for less amount, you sold it for more. So that means you got a profit in this transaction. And how much profit? You purchased it for ₹80. You sold it for 100. That is 100 minus 80, which is selling price minus cost price, that is ₹20. This will be your profit in this transaction. Now, when profit is defined, you can also incur a loss in a transaction. What is loss? Now, let's say again you are a shopkeeper and this notebook was for let's say ₹50 and you sold it for 35. Okay. Now you are purchasing it. That is for you. This is the shopkeeper. Your cost price. You purchased something for more amount. You purchased it for ₹50, but you are selling it for 35, less amount. Selling price is lower than cost price. This means you have incurred a loss in this transaction, right? And loss of how much? 50 minus 35. That is cost price minus selling price. So loss of ₹15. This will be your loss in this transaction, right? Now we know what is cost price, we know what is selling price, the profit and loss in any transaction. But it is not enough to know the amount of profit. You should also know the percentage of profit or loss that you have incurred in any transaction. So for that, how to find percent profit? Again, let's use the first example. You purchased something for ₹80. You sold it for ₹100. First thing that you will see when you have a question, you will see cost price is 80, selling price is 100. Selling price is greater than cost price. This means in this transaction you got a profit. Now you have to find out, first of all, you know that it is a profit in this transaction. Then you have to find out how much profit are you getting. You are getting a profit of, profit is selling price minus cost price, which is 100 minus 80. So you got a profit of ₹20. Now you know this much as well. Now to find out what is the profit percentage, ये 20 rupees profit you are getting on what amount? You invested something, I purchased something for 80 rupees and I got 20 rupees profit on it. So my profit percent will be selling price minus cost price, that is profit, divided by my investment. What was my investment? Cost price. So cost price multiplied by 100. This is your formula for profit percentage. That is profit is 20, cost price was 80, multiply by 100. So you will get 1/4 of 100. This means in this transaction you had a 25% profit, right? I hope this much is also clear to you. Now similarly, if you have to find out loss percentage, let's say the cost price of an item was 100 rupees. Now cost price was 100 rupees. Selling price of that item is rupees 80. Okay. So first of all, the first thing you will notice is cost price is greater than selling price. So you invested more, but you got less out of that transaction. And the next thing you have to do is, this means you incurred a loss in this transaction. Now how much loss? Loss is what? Cost price minus selling price. So this will be 100 minus 80. This means you incurred a loss of rupees 20 in this transaction. But loss for how much of investment? For investment of 100. So again, to find out loss percentage, you have loss amount divided by your cost price, that is 100, multiplied by 100 here. Okay, to find out loss percentage, we will multiply it by 100. So loss amount is rupees 20 divided by cost price, which was again 100, multiplied by 100. So this means you get a loss percentage of 20%. Okay, so this is how you convert an amount into percentage. And profit and loss, whether it is profit or it is loss, the amount percent will always be calculated as cost price as your base. Okay, with respect to cost price, that is profit or loss percentage is profit or loss, whatever you are incurring in that transaction, divided by cost price, multiply by 100. Okay, so I hope this much is clear to you, right? So again, let's see what all we have done till now. We know cost price, we know selling price is the amount in which we sell the item. We know what is profit. Profit is selling price minus cost price. Profit percentage is profit divided by 100, multiply by 100, right? Sorry, profit divided by cost price, multiply by 100. What is loss? Loss is when cost price is more, right? So loss will be cost price minus selling price. What will be loss percentage? Loss percentage will be loss divided by again cost price multiplied by 100. Always cost price will be the denominator until and unless it is mentioned to you in the question. Okay. So now let's move on to the first example. Okay. So in this example you have cost price of an article is 20,000. This is given to you. So I'll show you how I approach the question. So the first thing you have to do is whatever it is given to you, keep on writing it. Okay, cost price of an article is 20,000. This is what we do in initial stages, because if you think, okay, let me read the complete statement of the question, then I'll start solving. What will happen is you will forget or ignore any piece of information, which we don't have to do. So a question is in a statement form. What you will do is you will convert it into a form that is easier for you to notice, and so that you do not miss any part of information that is mentioned in the question. So your cost price of this article is 20,000. Profit is also given to you. Profit is 12%. What is the selling price? Okay, so similar to the previous example or the concepts which we have discussed, cost price is given to you. You know that there is a profit of 12%. Now I know profit is what? Profit percentage is profit divided by cost price multiplied by 100. This is the formula which we use. Profit percentage 12 is given to us. 12 is what? Profit divided by cost price is also given to us. 20,000 multiplied by 100, right? So you can find out the profit from here. Okay, profit will be what? You will get 2,400 rupees as your profit. This is the profit amount. Now your cost price was 20,000, and if you are having a profit of 2,400, then what will be the selling price? Again, use the formula. Selling profit is equal to, profit was what? Selling price minus cost price, right? Profit we know profit is 2,400. Selling price we have to find out. Cost price we know cost price is what? 12,000. This is 20,000. This is given to you in the question. So selling price will be what? Selling price will be 20,000 plus 2,400. So you will get 2,000. This will be your answer, right? 22,400 will be your selling price of this item. Okay. So I hope this question is clear to you. In this question, you have cost price is given to you, profit percentage is given to you. You have to find out the selling price. So firstly, profit percentage is given. So we can find out profit from here. Okay, on any item you can find out profit if it is given to you that profit percentage is this. Secondly, you have this formula also, profit amount is selling price minus cost price. You can find out your selling price from this question. Now, let's see the second approach to this. If you do not, because in your exam you will not have time to write all the formulas, right? So, cost price of the article, it is given to you, it is 20,000. Profit is 12%. 12% of what? Let's say, I am saying that you have a cost price of a pen is 100 rupees. You are selling it to someone at 20% profit. You will say, okay, 20% profit of what? Of 100. As simple as that. 20% profit of 100 rupees for which you purchased, right? This means 20 rupees will be your profit because 20% of 100. This will be 20 rupees now. So you will have profit of 20 rupees. So you will sell it for 120. You will say 100 to cost price tha. You are saying 20 rupees, I want the profit 20%. So my selling price is 120, right? So in this question, it was very simple. Cost price is 20,000. Profit is 12%. I told you profit percentage is always on the basis of cost price, right? Profit is 12% of what? 12% kiska? 12% of 20,000. Okay? So you simply found out this is 2,400. Okay, 200 multiplied 12, this will be 2,400 rupees. Cost price is 20,000. Profit is this. Selling price will be what? Cost price plus your profit. Right? जैसे इस example में किया था, selling price will be what? Cost price was 100. You want a 20% profit. So you will add 20 to it. You will get selling price as 120. Similarly here, cost price is 20,000. Profit is 2,400. So 20,000 plus 2,400. You will get 22,400. This will be your selling price. Right? I hope this much is clear to you. So now, let's move on to the next one. Okay. So now, see. In the previous example, cost price was given to us and profit percentage was given to us. But in this example, read the statement. Cost price of an article is 75% of its selling price. Find the profit or loss. Okay. So, let's say first of all, in this question, we have to find out the profit or loss percentage, which is not mentioned. So cost price of an article is 75% of the selling price. Okay. So in this question, cost price is also not given to you. Selling price is also not given to you. Only profit percentage, no, even profit percentage is not given to you. Nothing is given. Only you know that cost price is 75% of selling price. Okay. Selling price, let's say, now what we will do is we will assume here nothing is given. So what other option I have? I just have to assume. Okay. So for assumption, I will take the easiest option possible. I will say, let's say selling price is 100 rupees. 100, when you assume a value is 100, it makes calculation easy for you. So I will just assume that selling price of an article, that article is 100 rupees. Okay. Now I know cost price is what? Cost price is 75% of selling price. Okay. So 75, cost price is what? 75%. For percent, convert it into a amount. 75 divided by 100 multiplied by, of means multiply. 75%, 75 by 100 of selling price. Selling price is what? 100 rupees. Okay. This means you will get cost price as rupees 75. Now you have selling price. You also have cost price. Okay. So what will be the profit? Profit will be selling price minus cost price. Okay. This will be 100 minus 75. You will get profit as 25 rupees. You have to find out profit or loss percentage. First of all, we know that we have a profit in this transaction because selling price was more. Selling price was 100, cost price is 75. So profit hai. And profit kitna hai? Profit is of rupees 25. Now profit percentage, what will be profit percentage? Profit percentage will be profit, that is 25, divided by what? Always cost price until and unless it is mentioned in the question. Okay. Profit divided by cost price. Cost price, we said cost price is 75 rupees. So divided by 75, multiply by 100. Okay. 100 by 3, you will get 33.33% as your profit. Okay. Now, I told you how to find the profit percentage. Okay. You can find out the profit percentage. What if the question actually was, instead of percentage, you just have to tell amount of profit or loss. What will be the amount of profit or loss? Then you cannot tell. Then your answer will be cannot be determined or information not available or whatever your option is. Okay? Why? Because let's see here. When I assumed selling price is 100, I said cost price is 75. Then your profit was 25. Okay? Let's say I assume selling price is 200. Okay? Then for this case, cost price is what? 75% of selling price. So 75 by 100 multiply 200, right? This will be 150 here. Now, let's say again, in this question, if I ask you what is the profit, you will say 200 minus 150, profit is 50 rupees. So since you do not have a fixed amount of cost price, you do not have a fixed selling price, you cannot say profit kya hoga, right? Because you do not have even one value available in the question. You can, however, find out profit percentage, because profit percent will always be profit divided by cost price. Here profit percentage will be 50 divided by this. Cost price was 150 multiplied by 100. So here also profit percentage will be 1/3 of 100. Okay. So this means this will be 33.33. Students make a lot of mistakes in this kind of question. So again, I am telling you, since profit percentage is profit divided by cost price, this means this is a fraction. This fraction, here also this fraction is 1/3. Here also profit by cost price, that is 25 by 75. This fraction is also 1 by 3. This means profit percentage, so you can find out. But if the question says you have to find out amount of profit or loss, then you cannot find out until and unless at least one value should be given to you. Okay? So, I hope this question is also clear to you. In the first question, we had some values and then we have to find out the definite answer. In this question, however, you do not have a value still. You can find out the percentage, but you cannot find out the exact amount, because amount in the beginning only we assume the amount. So whatever amount we assume, profit will be with respect to that. Okay. So now, okay, let's do the next concept. You have concept number 2, and this is markup, price and discount. Now, okay, in the very first example, we said that there is a notebook. Let's say you are a shopkeeper. This notebook ka cost price is rupees 80, selling price is rupees 100. This is the example we took. Profit, you were having a profit of 20 rupees. Okay. Now, what if, let's say you are a shopkeeper and selling price, you have said that, okay, your cost price was 80 rupees. Okay. And in the notebook also, here it is written MRP rupees 100. Okay, MRP rupees 100 is written. But the customer says, okay, 10% discount. There are 10 rupees ka discount. Rupees 10 discount. Okay, so you say okay and you sell it for rupees 90. Okay, you are selling it for 90 rupees. Now what happened is, you have a cost price, you have a selling price, and you have a marked price. Marked price. Okay, cost price was rupees 80, selling price, now you are selling it for 90 rupees. Okay, selling price was 90. Again, if I ask you what is the profit, always cost price minus selling price. This is rupees 10 ka profit here. Okay, but there was also a marked price in this transaction, that was rupees 100. Okay, this was written on the notebook, MRP. Okay, so maximum retail price was 100, but you gave a discount for 10 rupees, so you got a selling price of 90. This means when you have this difference, selling price minus marked price, this is the discount that you give to a customer. Okay, so cost price and selling price ka difference is the profit and loss. Marked price and selling price ka difference is the discount. Again, if you have to find out discount percentage, right? So just think about it. Let's say marked price was 100 rupees and selling price was 10. Selling price was 90 rupees. Okay, so you gave a discount of rupees 10. Again, discount of rupees 10 on what? Now, cost price was rupees 80. Okay, this discount is not on rupees 80. This discount is on the notebook का price, right? When you go to a shop, आपका register पे लिखा होता है rupees 200. You say no, थोड़ा ठीक लगा लो, right? You ask for a discount. Discount on what? Discount on वो amount नहीं जिस पे shopkeeper ने purchase किया. Discount on the MRP that is mentioned on that notebook. That is discount on the marked price, right? So this 10 rupees is discount on the marked price. So if I ask you what is the discount percentage is rupees 10, that is discount amount, divided by the marked price multiply by 100. So again, in this question, if I ask you what is the discount percentage, you will say discount amount was 10 rupees, marked price was 100, multiply by 100%. So you will get discount percent as 10%. Okay, so again, concept number 2 was marked price, that is written, selling price on which you are selling it, and the difference between marked price and selling price is your discount amount. I hope this much is clear to you. So let's discuss a question related to it. Okay, so Here you have cost price of an article is rupees 300. Okay, markup is 20%. Okay, what is the marked price? So again, I told you, let's जो हमारा पहले वाला example था, the notebook was for rupees 80. You said then the markup was rupees 100. Okay, so the cost price for you was 80 rupees. You said marked price is 100. Then you were saying selling price is rupees 90. Right? These were the three price that were in your transaction. Okay, so if your cost price is 80, mark price is 100, you will say that rupees 20 was your markup. Okay, it is very simple. जितने में आपने purchase किया and जितने में you are willing to sell, the maximum price, that is your markup. The difference between these two is your markup, right? So if the cost price of an article is 300, percentage markup is 20%. What is the marked price? So again, you have cost price, this is 300. 20%, you want to increase your amount by 20%. 20% of what? 300 ka you purchased it for 300. You want 20% increase ho jaye uski value. So you will say 20% of 300. Okay, 60 rupees increase. You want increase of 60%, mark up. That means increase it by 60%. So what will be your marked price? Marked price will be 300 plus rupees 60, 360. This will be your answer. Okay. So I hope this example is clear. Now, so in the very first introduction, I told you that this is an application of percentage. Okay, so in this first session, we will also discuss a very simple shortcut which I want you to understand, so that आपको पूरी calculation ना करनी पड़े when you have to solve the question, because we are going for a competitive exam and we should know ways of saving our time to solve the question, right? So before that, let me ask you, if I say an item is for 100 rupees, okay, and I am increasing it by 10%, I am increasing its value by 10%, okay, then what I do is I decrease its value by 10%, okay, I am increasing the value by 10%, then I am decreasing the value by 10%. So what will be the final price of this item? Do you think there will be any change in the price of that item? Let's find out. See, this is for 100 rupees. When you increase its value by 10%. 10%, again, whenever you say percent, ask yourself percentage of what? X percent of what? Okay, 10% of what? 10% of rupees 100. 10%, you want to increase it by 10%. So 10% of rupees 100 is 10. So 100 plus 10. You will get the amount as 110. Okay. Now I said reduce it by 10%. Again, whenever we read the word percentage, what do we ask ourselves? We ask percent of what? So 10% of what? Now the amount is 110. So you have to reduce 10% of 110. Again, 10% of 110 is 10 divided by 100, multiply 110. So you will get rupees 11. So what you want is, you want to reduce 11 rupees from this. So you will get rupees 99. Okay, 110 minus 11, you will get rupees 99 as your final amount. Okay, so you started with 100, you increased 10%, you decreased 10%, same amount. Even then your final amount has decreased. Okay, so we can clearly see यहाँ पे कि if you increase by same amount of percentage, it is very important to highlight the word percentage here, because if I say you have an item, increase it by rupees 10, decrease it by rupees 10, then there will be no change. 100 रुपीज का आइटम है, इंक्रीज इट, 10 रुपीज इंक्रीज कर दो, 10 रुपीज डिक्रीज कर दो, देयर विल बी नो चेंज. बट सेम परसेंट से इंक्रीज किया, सेम परसेंट से डिक्रीज किया, देन देयर इज अ change in your transaction, the value of the amount of the item, right? Now the question arises, by how much percent if I am increasing, then I should decrease so that amount remains same. ठीक है, I say 100 rupees का है, increase it by some amount, then decrease it by some, the value should remain same. We'll do this with the help of an example. So here, if the marked price is 450 rupees, mark up percentage is 12.5. Increase is what? Increase of 12.5. What is the cost price? So you know, see, this is your marked price, this is your cost price. ठीक है, we increase some amount, then we go to mark price. ठीक है, for example you purchase something for 100 rupees, ठीक है, and then you say okay, I want to mark it. ठीक है, ऐसे करते हैं ना हम, we purchase an item and then we mark it, okay, we are selling it for 110 या 120, I want to sell it for 120, this is the marked price, this is your cost price. ठीक है, so you had a cost price, उसको आपने increase कर दिया by some markup and you got a marked price. Okay, marked price is 450. ठीक है, increase percentage किससे increase किया हमने? Markup percentage is 12.5%. Okay, is this much clear? What is 12.5% in terms of fraction? ठीक है, 12.5% is 12.5 divided by 100. This means 125 divided by 1000. ठीक है, this means 12.5 is 1 by 8. ठीक है, इतना क्लियर है? So आपके पास एक मार्क प्राइस है 450. You have a cost price which is not given to you. You have to find this. But you know आप इसको increase कर रहे हो 12.5% से, which is in terms of fraction it is 1 by 8. Okay, so when you are increasing it by 1 by 8, you get 450 as your answer. Okay, so by what amount should I again decrease it so that I get the cost price? ठीक है, let's say I'm saying आप 100 से 120 पे गए हो, so you have increased it, now you have to decrease it ना, so that आप वापस 100 पे आ पाओ, so that you can come back to 100 again. You went from 100 to 120, that means you increase some amount, now you want वापस से 100 पे आना, so you want कि you should decrease some amount now. Okay, again similarly here cost price you increased it by 12.5%, तो आप इस markup price पे आ गए which is 450. Now what is the cost price? You have to find this. So markup से cost price पे जाने के लिए आप क्या amount से उसको reduce करोगे? This is 450, this is cost price. Until now we have found out that you have increased it by 1 by 8. Okay, this much we have done. So to understand this is a very simple shortcut for you. अगर आप इसको n by d, that is numerator by denominator. Okay, this is numerator by denominator. Here numerator is 1 and denominator is 8. Okay, and you are increasing it by 1 by 8. Then you have to decrease it by numerator divided by numerator plus denominator. ठीक है, to get to the same amount. ठीक है, it is a very easy concept once you understand. So आपने अभी क्या increase किया? You increased it by 1 by 8. N is equal to 1, D is equal to 8. This means you have to decrease it by what amount? N divided by N plus D. Numerator is 1 divided by N plus D, 1 plus 8. So 1 by 9. ठीक है, this means यहाँ पे क्या आएगा? 1 by 9. Now, reduce 450 by 1 by 9. 450, 1 by 9 of 450 is what? 50 rupees, right? This means 450 you have to reduce by 50 rupees to get to the cost price. So 450 minus 50, 400 will be your answer. Okay, understood? So once you understand this concept, the question in itself is very easy. The only part was understanding the concept. Let me explain this again. So you have a markup price, that is you have 450, and you know कि आप markup पे कैसे आए हो? You had some cost price, you increased it, and you went to markup. Then you have to, if you have to go back to cost price, this means you have to decrease this amount. Markup is more, so you have to decrease some amount to get back to the cost price, right? You increased it by what? 12.5%. So step 1 will be what? In this question, step 1 is making this. Okay, step 2 will be what? 12.5% को fraction में convert करो. You will get 1 by 8. ठीक है, इसको हमने क्या लिख लिया? N by D. 1 by 8 है. Step 3 will be what? Finding out this fraction. Okay, what is this fraction? This is N divided by D plus N, which means 1 divided by 8 plus 1. ठीक है, this is D and this is N. So you will get 1 divided by 9. So step 3 was finding this fraction. Step 4 is 1 by 9. Step 4, 1 by 9 of 450 reduce करना है. 1 by 9 multiply 450. Rupees 50 you have to reduce. Okay, and step 5 is your answer, which is marked price minus the amount which you have already decreased. That is, marked price is 450 minus 50. You will get 400 as your cost price. Understood? Okay. So in this video, we will do these two concepts, and for the remaining concepts, we will move on to the next video. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah.